Let's proceed with the next paragraph. Mulkraj Anand says, as they neared the village, the child could see many other footpaths full of throngs converging to the whirlpool of the fair, and felt at once repelled and fascinated by the confusion of the world he was entering. Neared means as they came near, as they approached the village where the fair was organized, where it was held. Footpaths full of throngs. Throngs means people coming in large number, converging to the whirlpool of the fair, and people in large number were moving in the same direction to join the whirlpool of the fair. Whirlpool is a noisy and confusing situation. Repelled means driven away when we don't like something, fascinated, attracted. So the child faced both the emotions at the same time while he was entering into that altogether different world. A sweetmeat seller hawked gulab jamun, rasgulla, barfi, jalebi at the corner of the entrance, and a crowd pressed round his counter at the foot of an architecture of many colored sweets decorated with leaves of silver and gold. Hawked means to call out the wares. Like you must have heard vegetable vendors, fruit sellers calling out their wares, take this, buy that. That is known as hawking. So, first the child saw a sweet seller and he had different sweets decorated with leaves of silver and gold, and a crowd pressed round his counter. That means many customers were there to buy, because it is known that many people have sweet tooth, means many people like to eat sweets. Architecture means a building, and here the sweetmeat seller had arranged the sweets in a particular style, in a particular structure. The child stared open eyed and his mouth watered for the burfi. That was his favorite sweet. I want that burfi, he slowly murmured, but he half knew as he begged that his plea would not be heeded because his parents would say he was greedy. So, without waiting for an answer, he moved on, stared to look at someone or something continuously without blinking your eyes. Now, the child wanted to have his favorite sweet, which was burfi. He slowly murmured. What do you mean by murmur? When we speak softly, slowly, and the voice is audible only to ourselves. But he half knew, he had already known that his plea, his request would be rejected. So, without even waiting for an answer from parents, he moved further. And what did he think his parents would say? They would say that he was greedy. That means it was his fault only. Again, the credit goes to Mulkraj Anand for dealing with child psychology minutely, in detail. Then we have a flower seller hawked a garland of Kulmohar, a garland of Kulmohar. The child seemed irresistibly drawn. Irresistibly, he could not control his emotions, and he went there. He went towards the basket where the flowers lay heaped, and half murmured, I want that garland. But he well knew his parents would refuse to buy him those flowers because they would say that they were cheap. So, without waiting for an answer, he moved on. Drawn is third form of the verb draw. Draw, drew, drawn. Lay is second form of lie. Lie, lay. It means flowers were kept there in large number. So, second thing the child wanted after entering the fair was a garland of gulmohar. First was his favorite sweet, barfi, and second was a garland of gulmohar. Let's see what he wanted next. A man stood holding a pole with yellow, red, green, and purple balloons flying from it. So now we have balloon seller. The child was simply carried away by the rainbow glory of their silken colors, and he was filled with an overwhelming desire to possess them all. To be carried away means To be attracted towards something. Silken colors refers to rainbow glory of their silken colors. It refers to the beautiful colors which are already mentioned, yellow, red, green and purple. In short, the child wanted to have those beautiful balloons. Overwhelming desire, uncontrollable will to own, OWN, them all. Them refers to all the balloons. But he well knew his parents would never buy him the balloons because they would say he was too old to play with such toys. That means by giving some or the other reason, he had already known the things would be denied to him completely by his parents. What do you think? Why his parents would say some or the other thing and they would not buy him anything? Then for what he was brought to the fair by his parents? He was too old to play with such toys means he was grown up enough not to play with such toys. Balloons were not meant for a child of his age. So, leaving the balloons aside, leaving his desire to play with balloons aside, he proceeded. He moved further. A snake charmer stood playing a flute to a snake, which coiled itself in a basket, its head raised in a graceful bend like the neck of a swan, while the music stole into its invisible ears like the gentle rippling of an invisible waterfall. The child went towards the snake charmer, but knowing his parents had forbidden him to hear such coarse music as the snake charmer played, he proceeded further. Snake charmer, the one who uses rhythmic music and bodily movements to capture snakes. Flute is a musical instrument coiled, folded in a spiral or circular shape. The word it refers to the snake, and here music, the music played by the snake charmer has been compared to the gentle, soft falling water of an invisible waterfall. Here, stole is second form of steal. Steal, stole, stolen. Invisible ears are the snake. In short, the snake was enjoying the music played by the snake charmer, and the child also got attracted towards the same. The child went towards the snake charmer, but he had already known the snake charmer's music, according to his parents, was rough. It was not soft, it was not pleasant, so he moved further. Then there was a roundabout in full swing, roundabout, a merry-go-round. Men, women, and children, carried away in a whirling motion, shrieked and cried with dizzy laughter. The child watched them intently, and then he made a bold request. I want to go on the roundabout. Please, father, mother. In full swing means it was running at a fast pace, it was crowded, it was filled with people. Men, women, and children carried away in a whirling motion. Merry-go-round, a roundabout, moves in spiral shape and circular shape. People were crying, shouting, laughing. They were enjoying like anything. So automatically, the child was also drawn towards that. He also felt attracted. The child watched them intently with an intention, with a purpose, and then finally he mustered up courage and requested his parents to take him there. Dizzy is when we feel that everything around us is moving in circular motion and we may even fall. So, whether the child's request was accepted or not. Let's meet in the next module to know the same.